I know it's been a bit. I've been busy with a few things, including getting my microphone to sound a bit better using different EQ settings and settings in OBS in general. Aside from that, it's been some actual real life stuff that's gotten me a bit busy. So I've already done my research. I got everything to 46, 45, 45, 45. Fortitude being the highest. That's just because I do kind of like having good health. However, everything else is super useful, and there will be eventually reach a point where all that is maxed out. Now, our main quest is Jinx. Send Lars to investigate the balloon launch site, complete a red lightning mission in a power 40 plus zone, and it rewards 2 mini reward llamas. However, just like the last few missions, or at least from the last page here, like easy, 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 easy. Anyways, going to the Plankerton map, and we've done Ride of the Lightnings like lots of times. However, this mission, of course, needs to be done in a power level 40 zone. Based on my options, I have a power 40 grasslands red lightning. That gives me three more mini reward llamas, but this one has a mini boss. This one, on the other hand, has different modifiers, no mini boss, and slightly better rewards. Having no mini boss will also make this a bit easier, especially as a solo player, because I won't even have the mini boss to worry about. However, with my usual constructor loadout, though keep in mind not a great loadout, it's still like pretty okay at this level. And just having base Kyle in general and his 84% increased building health to your structures affected by your base, it's insanely useful. And like you should not take that for granted because that's gonna make your like tier 3 structures so strong. Okay,
Lars standing by to gather storm intel, Commander.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
launch this
of course,
bad
Ray.
boy.
I have a strong understanding of Ride the Lightning, Ray and Lars. You don't have to tell me how this works.
Make sure to collect any blue glow you see.
Okay, yeah, any blue glow I see. However, I only actually need 4. More if you want to increase difficulty, but I don't. I do want this bird though, and Stampede Shotgun Malachite though. That's pretty good. Stampede Shotgun's actually really good. Oh wow, lots of blue glow in this area. What the hell? Okay, 2. Can I climb this rock? Yes, I can. Anything to not have to actually build. I don't know why I do that. What is that? I hear it. Okay, so I guess that one's just inside the wall. That's cool. Unless there's a cave in there, but I sincerely doubt that. Anomalies like these are really useful in Ride the Lightning because you literally get 4 blue glow and the rewards from that, and then you don't really need to seek out any extra blue glow unless you're looking to increase the difficulty. And yeah, I like so hardly ever do that. Okay, so the fan could be basically anywhere on this map, and I don't think it's gonna be worth checking the edges unless I check the middle area first. Okay, so I built really high up. Let's see, can we spot the van from up here anywhere? I need a sniper rifle for this. No. Did I triple check that it's not just beneath me? I think it's safe to say it's not beneath me. So I want to clear this encampment, mostly because it's somewhat close to the area, but also mostly because it gives copper. Or ore in general, which may be copper, probably silver as well. There's a lot of tiny husks. And the moment I don't have the grenade launcher either. Funny how that happens. Okay, that could have gone worse, actually. I'm thinking I'm going to build in brick because I already have an abundance of brick compared to everything else. Okay, core van area, I'm going to build in brick. We do have nature, which we have nature enemies in this mission, which based on how elements work in Save the World, I am going to I'm still going to actually build in brick. Mostly because brick is actually better than it's not letting me place my base. Mostly because brick is better than brick's better than metal and wood when it comes to nature enemies, is the point that I've been trying to get across. But I've just been so distracted by the fact that I couldn't place my base. I'm like, I have two different buttons set for opening the trap wheel, and just neither of them are doing anything. And I'm so confused. Okay, I'm gonna just pretend to ignore that for now, and I'm gonna act like that's not gonna be a problem. But I think we all know that can become a problem. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. Uh so looks like we have a lot of spawns, especially mostly on this area. Then we also have this ramp here. Hmm. There's no chance enemies are gonna want to walk this way because they have the ramp. So I'm thinking I can primarily route them up this ramp, or no, no, the ramp's like the middle centric of their spawn. So it might make more sense to try to route them up this ramp. Maybe something here, but I don't know. I know I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay. Let's I'm gonna think about this for a moment. But even though the terrain in like a zone like this is kind of weird and a little bit annoying, I also find that to be one of the oddly fun parts about Save the World. Like you end up with a weird spawn like this, and now you have to actually like think about how you're gonna build for that. You have to kind of adapt to how the terrain like works, and a lot of the time it's not gonna work in your favor. There's some times where you can get very lucky, and the terrain's gonna work in your favor exactly how you want it to be. Let's let's actually try this. So I'm gonna do that, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That appears to be our limit, so I'm gonna do one there, 8. And the point of that is that's supposed to that's gonna try to help encourage enemies like they're not gonna come this way, and then they're not gonna try to come this way because that's gonna take them really far outside of their desired path. I mean, chances are there's gonna be some like lobber, flinger, blaster, some other weirdo trying to go around that way, but we'll see if that happens. In the meantime, you need to stop throwing at me. There's an encampment over there that I kind of like to clear out. Treasure chest. Okay. 40. It's a shame I'm only power 33. Because I'm going to be, like, at this rate, I think I'm going to be under level for Canny Valley when I actually get there. We're only, including this mission, 10 missions away. Or 10 campaign quests, rather. Okay, so that gave us a bunch of stuff. don't think I should waste the sound walls that I have. At least not right here and now. Ceiling electric field traps are like super versatile, so I do like to use them a lot. However, I'm not so sure if I'm going to need them right now. I probably should, given that I am underleveled, that I should probably trap a bit more than normal. However, at the same time, I think I'm dealing enough damage in general to power 40 enemies that it shouldn't be a big deal. And so that's our tunnel. The ceiling drop traps have been placed in a way where they can just push the enemies down the stairs. These stairs are placed like this only because I can do it, since we can build in terrain. And so a big benefit of this is you can actually add traps on the stairs like this, like wooden floor spikes or floor freeze or even retractable floor spikes. So you can get a bit more damage than just the ceiling drop. Now, one last thing I think I might want to do is, just as a bit of a precaution, I'm going to set up these. This probably won't be necessary, but it's in case I see a lot of enemies sneaking over this direction. These are just going to kind of clean up anything that for some reason chooses to attack this side. Even though I find it very unlikely that any enemies will actually try to go this way. However, if husk spawns change and they're focused on here and down here, then I might have to open this up. I have no idea yet. Now, I'm also going to try not to fall off of here while I'm building this. But I'm going to cover up the very top of this. This is just going to help from getting attacked from the air, like lobbers and flingers. And it can also help to put anti-air traps on top here, as well as level it up, obviously. My anti-air traps are not leveled up, which is going to severely limit their usefulness. There you go. I just pickaxed the husk for no reason. And just in case I do need to get up there, I will place that and edit it in half. That way I can just jump up. I could also place a defender somewhere, but I don't see that as fully necessary yet. That being said, it might be necessary later, but just doesn't seem very necessary right now. I'm doing some last little bits of optimizations because it may look like I'm just building like an idiot, which, I mean, partially true, I am. Okay, I did a quick little look over everything. Got rid of that propane enemy. That should be good. I expect on the second wave they might try to come from, like, over here, on, like, the southeast kind of area. But for now, it doesn't appear that anything is coming from this side. Yeah, it looks like they're mostly only coming from, like, this like, west or northwest, like, area over here. And yes, I built my tunnel in wood. It's mostly just because I want to save brick, but at the same time, wood is also, like, super easy to get. It's also not a thing that they're going to be attacking as that much, I don't think, or at least they shouldn't. And I always do that to myself. I always open doors exactly where this table is, or exactly where that table is. It's this one. As usual, like, I'm always going to say it, but don't stand your tunnels the way I am. That's usually exactly how you get enemy behavior to change. Oh, we do have enemies sneaking over to here. I didn't account for that, considering it's blocked off. There. Maybe that'll stop them. I wasn't accounting for that because this area is blocked off. I have no clue why enemies are so severely trying to get through here. It seemed exactly like the kind of area that I could block off and the enemies wouldn't be targeting, and yet here they are targeting it. At the time in the video, I actually didn't understand why enemies were moving the way they did. This is a screenshot from an earlier part of the video where I didn't build the trap tunnels yet. And the point of this is I want to actually explain why now, looking back at this, I understand exactly why they're moving the way they are. So this area, of course, is the husk spawn. This is their spawn. And I'm going to use some different colors here just because it might make it easier. And this is obviously my base and the objective. And so what I did is I blocked off over here. This area is the hill in which I built my actual tunnel in. And this tunnel was built in a way where they exit here. Well, actually, to draw this better. There, so they come in here and they exit here. And then I also blocked off a section like this to prevent enemies from walking way out in the water. However, I blocked off over here, this area right beside the hill. This was the mistake that I made. And the reason why I say that is because enemies will traditionally take the closest path to the objective, the one that takes the least amount of resistance and effort. And so effectively what that means in my case is that I gave them a path that would take longer through the hill because they're going from here all the way through here, down, and then through here, as opposed to going through here and through here, which is a much shorter path. So what's my solution to this? Well, what I should have done was blocked off the hill area here instead of building the tunnel, and then actually built the tunnel right here. Or specifically, I should have built one where it would be more like this, where they come in and then come out. And I didn't do that because I'm an idiot. And because I didn't think about it at the time. Hopefully these explanations kind of make sense. I'm not very good at explaining things, especially while trying to draw them as well. So something tells me I'm not going to be able to block this off in any way anymore. I don't know why I was so confident that I would be able to block that off. Like, I don't know why. I really should have accounted that some enemies would take the weirdest route possible, because enemies love a diagonal route that's really annoying and really far away from their spawns. I don't know, every single time I've ever accounted for anything to go right, it goes wrong. But then anytime I account for something to go wrong, it goes perfectly fine. What is this? I don't even know how to describe the problem I have here. And that one, I think he's just an idiot. Okay then. That went fine if you ignore the fact that nothing actually went in that tunnel.
We'll need a little more blue glow.
Yeah, that set off a maximum of 10 times. And then they are still coming from this direction. And simply because of how every single enemy targeted the exact route I tried to prevent them from taking, I'm going to assume that none of them are going to use that tunnel. And that I do need to set up this route to be taken instead. And I appear to have just used up all my wood on this. And, well, I mean, I guess all that as well. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I more or less expected enemies to try to go this way and not over here for no reason at all. So they're coming from down here. I want to say that it's safe to try to block this off because it doesn't seem like enemies want to come this way. However, given the fact that I already mispredicted exactly how enemies are going to want to travel, I also could equally be wrong. I think I will be wrong because there's no way they're going to actually try to take that way to go the longest route physically possible to get here when they're going to try to cut up this ramp. And I'm out of wood again. That explains a lot. So I don't have to be building in wood, and it also doesn't have to look nice either. But I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting to go through that much wood that quickly. But I guess it just kind of happens with the way that I normally like to play this game. I think I'm going to try to farm a little bit here, and then I'm going to see what I can do to finish up that tunnel and possibly prepare the other area that I think they're going to try to walk up. somehow I completely forgot that was going to happen and look like that. But on the other hand, it's kind of funny. It also gives me a different idea, like a very unique one. That, I mean, chances are won't work at all, but it would be really funny if it did, so I kind of want to go for it. I'm not leveling up any of that. It would have been nice if I put those ceiling electrics higher up, but it's kind of just all I could do at the time really quickly. So the Frenzied Death Burst modifier, when enemies die, they grant the nearby enemies a brief increase in attack as well as movement and attack speed. So thankfully, because it's not healing Death Burst, they don't heal when they die near another husk, which does work in my favor ever so slightly. Who the hell are you? And why do you have full health? Oh, hold on. Let's do that. That's only just to make them have to walk a little bit further. And so they can't try to cut this corner. And something else we're going to do is that. And let's edit that to be that one. And it appears so many of these enemies are shielded that they're not taking in enough damage to die to the traps, which is quite unfortunate because if they weren't shielded, they would be dying, I'm pretty sure. Guess I don't even need a defender. I was thinking about using one, but it doesn't even seem like it's necessary anymore. I'll take those free materials, thank you. And I'll also give you some extra random little walls over there. I feel like an idiot for actually building that and thinking that funny idea, only to realize, like, there's no way they were actually going to want to use that path. So while that is a bit of a waste, at least this mission's not... At least this mission's going quite smoothly. It's not too difficult. Now will that one set off? No, clearly not. And it did set off at least once since then, but I don't know where. Let's grab 546 brick. Oh, I mean, we're now back to maximum brick, which is useful. I need a lot more wood and metal, though. 7,000 combat and 4.7k building. And gain a rare survivor. Nice. Can't wait until that rare survivor's not even on my squads. Okay, survivor XP, gold. Tons of battle pass XP as usual. And weekly missions, I guess. I'll take the gold. Okay, nice. 128k battle pass XP, really?
Hey, Ray, were you by chance hoping to find a lab?
Yes!
You better hurry. Big storm blowing in.
That was a quest I didn't intend on finishing, but I guess I finished it anyways. I mean, I'll take 50 gold and 14k hero XP.
Commander, we need to extract Dr. Vinderman before the storm hits. Make sure you're ready to fight. This might get ugly.
Melee defender, nothing special with him. We also got a blue survivor that did in fact not reach our squads. In terms of resources, we now have 2 mini reward llamas that we will open right away. I will keep those. Alright, alright. I just want to double check that what I'm trying to get is not going to be literally a upcoming quest reward. I'm going to go to the collection book. Traps. Wall traps. And I'm just going to research myself a wall launcher. So now I have a wall launcher schematic. I really don't know what else I need. I will max out that gas trap to 51. I will also take the opportunity to get rid of the double durability because I don't, or I guess not. I guess I will not be taking a moment to do that. But that's the way better perks on the gas trap. And I think that's pretty much everything I left to do here. We do have downtime coming up, like, but that's good. It's already gonna be V36.10 by the time this video is edited and uploaded.